Disease is not the problem. Essentially, body is the problem, isn't it? There are lots of people who don't have any ailment, but they got their own baggage. You got a little handbag. They got their own baggage, isn't it, all the time? So that's not the point. The thing is, right now you have known a few pleasures of the body and a few joys of the mind and little bit pleasure of the world. It's kept you going, nothing wrong with it, nothing wrong with it. But do you see the limitations of it? 3 days if you do it, after that, there's nothing much to it, isn't it? Does it mean to say you're dissatisfied? No, you're joyful. Only if you're joyful, you can seek liberation, you understand? Only if you've fallen in love with the creation, you would like to seek the source of creation. If you hate the creation, why do you want to meet the Creator anyway, isn't it? Why would you like to meet somebody who is creating something that you hate? If you've fallen in love with the creation, then you want to meet the source of creation. So the longing comes not necessarily because you're miserable, but at the same time, the longing comes because there is certain pain to ignorance. Ignorance means, see, right now you're here. If you're willing to look at yourself genuinely, you're here without knowing anything about the nature of your existence. Isn't it so? Anything at all, actually. Yes or no? No?
I'm trying to understand what you're trying to say.
Do you know anything about how this life came, what it came from, how it is? Oh, really? How?
From my mother and father.
Oh, that we know that everybody knows. The very life that you are, how did it happen, do you know? Do you know how it's happening right now?
Can you go back to the soul in that case?
Huh?
Can you go back to the soul?
Yes, that is a story.
Because where did the soul come from? That's what it is.
See, huh? Yes. So, the thing is, we are here without knowing anything about our existence because we're keeping ourselves busy with something. This is the reason why humanity has kept itself so busy. You just sit down one day without doing anything, both in body and mind, without doing anything. Can you? Just sit at home, just for 24 hours. Just don't do anything. Not in your hair, with your body, not with your minds. Just simply sit around and see what will happen. Instantly, it will stare at you. It will stare at you with such power that you actually don't know even an element of the nature of your existence. When I do not know starts screaming within you, because the very nature of human intelligence is such, you cannot remain with I do not know, you want to know somehow. The simple solution that people have found is start believing something that somebody says. That only puts your seeking to sleep, it never resolves it. I will tell you, your creation is because this happened, that happened, God decided this happened, whatever. You believe it, it feels good. It puts you to sleep, it's a tranquilizer, but it is not a solution. Are you seeking solace or are you seeking solution? That is one thing that you must decide. If you're seeking solace, you believe something, it'll help you. Believe anything you want. You just believe this tree goddess is what created me, it'll help you, it'll give you solace. But if you're seeking a solution, then any kind of belief is not worthwhile. So right now if I talk about something which is not in your experience, you have only two options, either to believe me or disbelieve me. If you believe me, you are not getting any closer to it. If you disbelieve me, you are not getting any closer to it. So you just have an entertainment story. That's what I meant by entertainment. Because it doesn't get you any closer to reality. It doesn't matter even if I'm telling you a true story. What I'm telling you may be a true story, even if it is a true story, still it does not get you even a single inch closer to the reality, isn't it? So what is it that we have to do? If you want to know, all of you know, I'm not wishing this is not my invention, don't blame me. All of you know, one day you will die, I will die, everybody here will die. Maybe after 100 years later, I'm sorry. You don't want… You don't want him or you? Okay. So…
How do you know we'll die?
I'm sorry,
How do you know we'll die? I don't believe we'll die.
about what?
How do you know we will die? I don't believe we will die.
You don't believe you'll die?
No.
That's fine. That's good. Don't believe that, because that is also somebody's story.
No, I don't believe… I'm not saying heaven.
Huh?
I'm not saying there's a heaven.
I'm not saying that either.
I think we're energy, and that energy doesn't die.
That's fine. When we say death, we are talking about you'll pay back the loan. Okay? I thought we've already looked at these things.
No, let's talk about the soul.
Yes. Now, this body, the way you know yourself right now, as a person, you being a person, number what? Number 23 will die. Okay? Something else lives on, this, that, you still don't know. But one thing you can see is, when you sit here, can you see me right now? Are you seeing me, or is it your eyes which are seeing me? Are you seeing me, or is it your eyes?
I am seeing.
You are seeing. Through the window of your eyes, you are seeing. If you close the window, you don't see. If you open the window, you see. So, it is not 100% experience. If you just close your eyes, you have a little bit of experience to tell you that there seems to be… you seem to be little more than the body. Just close your eyes and see. You're not able to see what's around, but you're still there, isn't it? You're still very much there, isn't it so? So why always spirituality means first thing close your eyes is, the moment you close your eyes, you know you are not the body. Please see this. Eyes are open, you're very much the body, isn't it? Eyes are closed, suddenly you know, you seem to be little more than the body. The more and more and more you sit with your eyes closed, the more and more it becomes clear to you that you seem to be much more than the body. So if you're something more than the body, what is it? Do we want to go into the story?
Yes, 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 yes.
Like stories.
Love story.
So, you want to know the mechanics of what happens when you shed this body. If you want an elaborate detail, there is Mystics Musings, I think it must be in your rooms. You already read it. Anyway, what is happening right now is, it's like this, what you call as myself is… suppose, you know children are blowing soap bubbles, a bubble is floating around here. Now there is a certain amount of air in this. It has a body. It is a body and it contains a certain amount of air. But if you prick the bubble, that body part of it falls down, the air in it, where does it go? Can you say this bubble's air is somewhere there? It's gone. It ceases to exist, isn't it? Similarly, this one, what you call as myself, has formed a bubble, a very strong one, with 5 sheets, one on top of the other. bliss body, etheric body, pranic body, mental body and physical body. Physical body has come with a certain expiry date. It has, isn't it? Physical body has come with a certain expiry date, isn't it? So when the time is up, it falls back into the earth because you picked this from the planet. But the other bodies are still intact. The mental body, the energy body, the etheric and the bliss body are still intact. It is still an individual, but without the discretionary nature of an individual. Depending upon variety of characteristics, it has tendencies, so it seeks. Whatever kind of tendencies you have created, that is the kind of area it will seek, or that is the kind of womb it will seek. Now, as there is a science and technology to create external freedom and well-being, science and technology has brought a phenomenal amount of freedom to you, isn't it? Wherever you came from, some of you from United States, which is probably the longest distance, Australia and Mumbai or Chennai or wherever, it's because of technology you're here. Otherwise, your seeking is not strong enough to even walk from Mumbai or even Coimbatore. Your seeking is not strong enough even to take a walk from Coimbatore to Velangiri Hills to know, isn't it? It's not strong enough, please know this. Let's be straight about this, isn't it so? Would you have walked from Mumbai to just know what is the truth? No. So it is not strong enough. It is mild, just casual, because technology just takes you across in a few hours and drops you here, you manage to come. So it's only because of technology that you're here. It is delivering you fast. Now similarly, there's an inner technology. There's an inner technology which can choose and make life happen in a different way. As there is a science outside, there's an inner science. If you have mastery over this, you can choose the very womb that you will born into. Even now you're choosing, but unconsciously, but you can make a conscious choice about this. Now this process is going on, depending upon this whole thing is possible to hold itself only because of the impressions of information that it's taken in, which is what we are referring to as karma. We call this karmic body. It is the karma which is the glue which holds all this together. If you take away all this information, which is dropping of the karma traditionally, now this bubble will burst. If the bubble burst, where did this person go? He just doesn't exist, that's all. True freedom is when you cease to exist. You're not seeking that yet, I want you to know. You're only seeking comfort, you're only seeking well-being. You're not seeking ultimate freedom, because freedom means to be free from yourself, to be free from existence itself. That is pricking the bubble completely. Right now, the bubble is on. It takes on the physical body and drops because it has an expiry date and it keeps dropping off. But till you make a conscious effort, you don't drop the other parts. You cannot drop the other parts unless you make a conscious effort. This will naturally happen. Dropping of the physical body will just naturally happen. You're born and anyway you will die one day. But the dropping of the other dimensions of the body will not happen unless you make a serious conscious effort. That is what is referred to as a spiritual process, that you realize the limitation. Oh, why would I want to become non-existent? It is just like this, it doesn't matter, you were in school at one time, it doesn't matter how wonderful your school life was. Didn't you want to go to college? Your school life was really wonderful. Does it mean to say you don't want to go to college, you just want to stay in school? No. The problem is, the memory patterns have been worked out in such a way there is no memory. If you come to longer meditations with us, we'll blow you with a different level of memory in your own mind. Once you remember that you've been doing the same stupid things over and over again, you will say, what's the nonsense? You yourself will say that. Right now, you're too fascinated because memory has been blocked for your survival's sake. If all that memory floods into you right now, without the necessary awareness, it'll just break you. Just imagine, suppose lifetimes of memory came to you, it'll just freak you out because you're not able to handle even this life's memory, isn't it? Isn't it so? Don't believe all this nonsense, it's just a story. Huh? No. I'm saying don't believe all this because belief is a comfort seat. Oh, now I know. Finished your… You don't know. Somebody is telling you a story. For me, it is real. For you, it's just a story. Don't believe the story. Let me see. Somebody is telling such a tall story, let me see. If you keep the let me see open, you are a possibility. But you understand, you are living within certain limitations. If there is a limitation, if there is a bondage, there is also freedom, isn't it? Yes? If you recognize the bondage, you also recognizing there is something beyond that, isn't it? If you recognize a boundary, you also recognizing the boundlessness of that. So you just work on the boundaries, don't work on the freedom, you'll become very fanciful. You just work on the ropes which tie you down, see how to cut them. Let's see where you go. Wherever you go, nature will take care of that. Don't listen to anybody's stories.